Well, my fellow Palantards, what happened today? A $40 billion company has lost more than 7% in a single day, and much more than that in the last week, much more. So we need to talk about this. What we know, what we don't know, and some considerations for the future. Just a couple weeks ago, we were feeling smart. We were feeling good about our investment into this company. Maybe even thinking, wow, we got some positive reinforcement. Maybe I should buy some more before this thing just takes off to the stratosphere. Now this. What has happened? Why did billions of dollars of market cap evaporate in one day? And the answer is nothing. There are no news events, no bad press, no loss of contracts, nothing, not even an inflammatory Reddit post as far as I can tell about Palantir. So if we take a look at the chart, we can see we're down 7.25% as of right now. And the last week has been pretty rough with some rough down and a little bit of up and then mostly down, but a huge decrease right here. And the drop on the 7th really started at the end of the day on the 6th, and this is the only price catalyst that I've seen at all regarding these recent meaning the last like a day and a half, the recent price drops here. So there were close to 2 million shares exchanged right at the end of market on the 6th, and then a chunk of around 24,000 shares were sold right after that in market close, and it seems like this has set off a kind of avalanche, this downwards avalanche of stop losses and more selling and then triggering more stop losses. Basically, a bunch of people were sitting in the green on their Palantir positions and then set a sell order just in case the price dropped. That way they could collect their profits on this nice upswing that we've seen and then probably buy back in later because they were just saying, hey, Palantir likes to swing up, 20% every few months. It might go back down. They set a stop loss and, it went down. So a big sell order came in after hours when there's far less liquidity, which can lower the price even more than usual than if it were, during regular trading hours, which means more sell orders get initiated once the market opens. And we just simply didn't have enough buying pressure to compensate for these sell orders. Now, does this matter even in the slightest? The answer is no, not if you're a long-term holder of this stock. If you have a long-term outlook, if you plan on holding 3, 5, 10, 15 years, it doesn't matter at all. Sure, it's a little bit painful. Sure, I'd rather be up 25, 50% on this stock than, see this. It's painful, but does it really matter? Are you even going to think about this 10 years from now? No. If you're a long-term holder of this stock, this is probably what happened. You pulled out your phone, you saw the stock tank, and you thought to yourself, well, that's Palantir being Palantir. And then you just went back to work making money, doing whatever your day job is, to then later buy more Palantir. That's at least what I did today. And then I thought, I got to make a video on this because it's like, at this point, it's almost customary for me whenever Palantir is dipping to make a video to talk about, what I'm doing, what's going on here, and, give some reinforcement. Also, if you want some, you should join the Discord also, because there's a lot of other fellow Palantards on there. And then if you're feeling nervous about a dip like this, and we can kind of communicate back and forth. There's a free version of the Discord, and there's a exclusive Patreon version. You can join either version or both or whatever. That's linked down in the description. Join that. We can talk about Palantir a little bit. And so if you're a long-term holder, does this matter? No. If you're a short-term trader or a swing trader in the stock, it probably stings a bit more. But again, this is Palantir. This is kind of like, this is what happens. So we have our best estimation as to why this happened, this 7% drop. And I'm glad it happened because of this, not because of any bad press or because their product sucks or anything like that. Really, this price drop is for the best reason possible. So we know that, but let's talk about what else we know about this company. We're going to cover a few things. We know for certain that if you liked this stock last week or 2 weeks ago at whatever price it was, 25, 27 bucks, then you should really like it today because nothing fundamentally has changed. So if you liked it 2 weeks ago, you should be like, wow, now is the time to buy because it's simply cheaper and nothing else has changed. That's a buying opportunity. If you felt like at 27 it was a steal, now it's really a steal. We know that for certain. We know that this isn't a cheap stock though. It has a price to sales of between 40 and 50, depending on the day. And that territory comes with large price swings like we're seeing right here. This is a highly valued company. This is not a bargain Benjamin Graham, Warren Buffett kind of, bargain buy. It's really not. And with that, you're going to see these large price swings because holders of Palantir, both retail and institutional holders, are betting that Palantir is going to outperform the market for the next 5 to 10 years. That's why we see these high ratios. So if you don't think they're going to outperform the market, then why would you sit through these price swings? If you do think that they're going to massively outperform the market, like I happen to, then we're going to deal with these price swings. If you're new to Palantir, I will pin a video above as to why I like this company, because I've done a ton of diligence on it. That way you can understand, why would he buy into something like this? I thought he was a value investor. I'm mostly a value investor, but I do like to have some growth, some a little bit more speculative bets to add to the portfolio to obviously try to get the most return possible. I say speculative, but it's a massive company that's growing and growing and growing, but they don't have a ton of profits as is, but I'm betting that they will in the future. So what else do we know? We know that the last quarterly earnings beat estimates and management is on track for their 4-year goal of $5 billion in sales. We know that we're on track and actually beating expectations, which of course, what more could you ask? We know that stock prices inherently aren't always accurate on a day-to-day basis. Like what Benjamin Graham says, he says, on a daily basis, it's a voting machine, in the long run, it's a weighing machine. So only time can tell what it's actually worth. We also know that institutional money loves this stock and retail loves this stock, which is pretty rare. You don't really see that often when both of those forces are coming together. And I think ultimately in the long run, that's going to be better and better. And it's also become less and less of a meme stock. Yes, it hit like $45 before, but that was in like peak Palantir meme stock, and we don't really hear so much of that anymore, which I'm glad to hear. And I think Alex Karp has done a good job of that, basically saying like this is a long-term hold. And I think he's done a good job of kind of weeding out some of the people who are like, we want this to go to $50 next week, those kind of investors, when it's not realistic anyways. It could happen, but it's not perfectly realistic. We also know that data is only getting produced more and more, and someone is going to be the best at figuring out how to manage it and how to earn billions of dollars from it. And it seems Palantir is the leader in that. They seem to have the best systems and the most stickiness with their products. And that's just another thing we know, the stickiness of their products. They have some of the stickiest products that I've ever seen. Nearly everyone that they sign up ends up renewing their contract and spending more after their contract. I mean, what more could you ask as an investor to see just multi-million-dollar contract after contract being renewed and then upped? That's the proof is right there that people are willing to spend, and then once Palantir gets their fingers around this company, it's like they become a necessity to the company, because in a lot of cases they save them money, they give them better insights, and they make them more money. It's like, what more could you ask? So what am I doing given all this information? The answer is nothing. I'm still just as heavy on Palantir. I haven't ever sold a single share that I've ever purchased. And I haven't bought more yet on this dip, but if it buys more, I'll just add more. At this point, I'm not sitting like way up crazy profitable. So it's like at $22, I'd, might as well go down to 17 and then I'll just buy a whole, boatload more. So if that happens, I'll just end up buying more. Now, if you are trying to get out of this stock, and this isn't financial advice, none of this is financial advice, but if you can't handle the price swings for whatever reason, which is fine, everyone has their own risk tolerance. I would never, shame anyone for selling any stock. A day like today is probably not a good time to get out. Without a fundamental change in the company, something like their sales are down, their products suck, whatever. Without some kind of fundamental change with that and seeing a price dip, this severe, it's rarely followed by another large price dip. So it's usually not a good idea to act emotional on a day like this. Usually you see some green after something like this. Now, we don't know for certain. We could see another red day, but usually a day like this, given all the context, is followed by a green day. For my other fellow Palantards that are in it for the long haul, I am here with you on this stock. I'm not going anywhere. Come chat with me down in the Discord. I feel just as good about it today as I did last week, even though I don't have the psychological, benefit of seeing my portfolio up, 25% or whatever it was 2 weeks ago. So I'm still feeling all right about this. I just wanted to do an update to, I did some digging on it. I just wanted to give the context as to, what's going on here. Join the Discord, join the Patreon if you want exclusive access to the private Discord. If you want my buy alerts, you can see exactly what I'm doing in real time. As soon as I buy or sell something, it's posted right on the Patreon. We have private content there, lots of fun stuff going on the Patreon. And I would just like to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.